Duskwood finds herself in yet another forge. A forge that hopefully will stand the test of time, but only time will tell. And oh boy, are there some things that Dusk is going to want to purchase here and sell. A number of the goods that she's picked up recently will fetch a fair price here. And so as ever, Dusk must do what she can with what she has available to her. It's time to stock up. The Exodi to the far northeast beckon, as do a number of other challenges. And as ever, Dusk shall continue to seek the secrets of the dead, for Elliot shall not be damned under her watch. Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. No hope. Where we have a little bit of hope here. We only really have one thing that we're going to try and get from here, which is Paralytic Dart. Now, we could pick up some other books as well with the idea of, eventually we could teach someone else those things. But right now, I think we're just going to focus on what Dusk does. So Paralytic Dart is a book that we want to pick up. I don't think there's anything else that we want to pick up from the librarian here other than Denare, and we do have a few things that we can sell off here. Demon Spider Fangs. Yes, we'll sell those. They don't sell for too much, but we do still get something out of them. They have no interest in our unstable rift whatsoever. That's fine. We can also see that these potions are worth a lot, like a significant amount, because I feel like these could potentially save us from death. Things like the whisk flower and the wood barnacle, they're so light, we are going to hold on to them because I don't know what uses they're going to have just yet. We obviously still have our protein rations and all of our other drugs, but books. We can sell books. We have digitized all of these now, so we should be able to go and put them on through here with no issue, and that's giving us nearly 300 credit. So we might need to knock that back a little bit because, we got Bullet Pearls as well, which can knock us up even further. The diamond is worth nothing at all, which is kind of surprising. And the Demon Chitin plate here is worth, a really, really decent amount. Okay, so let's try and settle things here. We can actually get all that Denari. So if you just hit F1, we have a credit of $14, which isn't bad. We could pick up a throwing axe if we really wanted to. Alternatively, we could purchase some books and then just trade them to someone else. I think that's probably our best call here. So we have accepted our trade, and I think, honestly, easiest thing to do is just digitize the books and then just sell them back to someone else. So Paralytic Dart we will store. Do we really want to store the Book of Mormon in the Orthodox Church? It won't take that much longer for us to store, and I guess we could read them for fun? Sure, why not? Yeah, really doesn't take us all that long to do. Well, alright then, so let's go talk to some of the others. You know what, we could also duck in here to talk to our seer, to see if she's able to teach us anything else. There are a number of things that I would be interested in finding the location of, so Mary, we need you to help us find something. So, dangerous location, yeah, sure. We could go for a Belrog mine again, just in case there is something different at the end of that, but at the same time, that was, it was a super, super dangerous place. In saying that though, with our kind of lightning dash ability now, I feel like we'd be able to handle that a little better. So I kind of would like to know that, but also a swamp dragon cave? Yeah, sure. Let's see if you got anything for us. Fancy yourself a dragon slayer, eh? It's my understanding that they use a lot of acid, so be ready for that. And remember that body parts of dragons are quite valuable, even the blood. So you might want to bring something to keep said blood in, and bleed the corpses before you butcher. I'll mark it on your map for 1 denarii. That sounds like a deal. And did you successfully do that for us? I think maybe, because we do have something up towards the northwest here. How far? Not that far, surprisingly. It's up here in Maynard. What's this area called? Swamp. Okay, so swamp, question mark. Yeah, origin, magicalism. So I guess when we have a look at regular swamps, it doesn't say swamp ? Also, I think, I think how that swamp is kind of situated, having like the 4 tiles there right smack bang in the middle of something, I think we may have other examples of that in other places. In saying that though, she will mark the closest location for us. And I mean, looking at these magicalism cabins, we could potentially look at making it towards there. Could there be artifacts in a place such as that? Maybe. We do not know much about this area here. It's kind of blank to us, so I am intrigued still as to what could be there. But in saying that, let's continue our conversation with Miri here. We do have quite a few denarii, so I'd like to try and see if we can find some other locations. We'll go back to Dangerous yet again, and I think we're going to try and see if we can find a Balrog mine again. So, do you know of any others? Again, seemingly she does. Okay, so visit Balrog is all the way down here, only 2.7 kilometers away from us at the moment. Okay, so it's over towards the west as well. Oh, over here. So we have a mine of some kind in that direction. And you know what? It's just kind of north from Hub 01. So we do have a few quests in that location. Now we have yet another. So another reason to be back here. Okay, thank you, Mary. Now, man-made structures. I don't suppose you could tell us about any other magical academies. It has failed in the past, and no doubt I'm feeling like we're going to have the same thing again, but we'll try. And we still get errors, so yeah, unlikely that works for us. Yeah, but hey, you gotta try. Okay, Mary, thank you very much for your time. Now, Helen, I suppose we could try and trade you a few books as well, couldn't we? Alternatively, potions are another option there as well. And I do wonder if we were to use invisibility here, whether or not we would be able to steal anything. I don't think Dusk is likely to do that unless she seriously is either in danger or there's something that could help Elliot and she can't gain access to that. I wouldn't mind some fresh equipment though, and there's a chance that they might sell some of that here. No, they only have their own stuff and they're not selling. We might as well sell these 2 maps while we're here, and we'll sell those 2 books that we picked up. Oh, we nearly have enough to get 1 denarii, so I'll make up the difference. There we go, some weed and some gummy vitamins. That's a good trade. Okay, so that just kind of leaves Valzane at this stage. We have more buying power than we have ever had before, so what I'm going to do first of all is figure out exactly how much we have. Okay, nearly 2,500, so a significant amount. Interesting that the golem core is a weapon. Making golems could indeed be fun. But first of all comes books. That's the most useful thing to us. So some of these books are going to have spells that we already have, but there are things that we are missing, like Shocking Lash, for example, which I believe might pull things towards us. It is a little bit expensive for just 1 spell, but we'll see. We'll go through some of the others first. Convert is yet another. Kill an allied creature, converting its life energy into a compact rune that you can use afterwards. I feel like this is a given. As an animist, it is something that we are going to need to have access to. Yes, lashing tentacles, 100% yes. Barbed tentacles that will attack enemies in melee range. And yeah, okay, that is it. Other than Transcendence of the Human Condition, all Magus spells, okay, and they're just about increasing your abilities. Right, but the Forge of Wonders Warp Scrolls, I feel like having 1 of them, that'll make a massive difference for us, because just being able to like jump back quickly, huge deal. So, happy about that one. I think we're probably still going to pick up the Applied Meteorology. Then of course, we can have a look at some clothing here. So I think getting some new breeches is a good idea, and getting a new blouse, because ours are a little damaged and they've just been absolutely invaluable to us. Also, oh hang on, these aren't enchanted. Whereas ours say enchanted on them, right? Enchanted, yes, and they are indeed worth more. Okay, So the breeches and the blouse just by themselves, I don't think are enchanted. There must be a difference between them. Dimly shows reflections of things that are here and not. Oh yes, okay. This particular one has piratical flares and glitters with enchantment. Yeah, so much better. Fixing that, I think, will be a big deal for us. So going off of that, let's have a look at some of the tools that are here. The spider box, I believe, produces thread over time. Yes. Fun. Yeah, there's a spider that just works to make thread for you throughout the day. The enchanted tailor's kit. Oh, and this also contains one of those magic spiders that constantly, slowly makes new thread. I don't know if it's going to be that much different than a regular tailor's kit, other than the fact that the quality is probably very good, and it charges up over time. Now, I suppose we could pick up the heavy arming pants. We have enough if we are to sell a few other bits and pieces, but I don't think it's going to be worth it for us right now. I think we'll probably just trade for what we can so far. So we are still going to have some denarii left over this. We're going to have some credit as well. That's good. I am happy with this as far as trades go. So thank you, Valzane. Let's go store all those books there. Okay, so I have an option. Manage external storage. Copy from device to the card. What I'm wanting to do is create a backup here. I don't know if this is going to, because we want to copy. Yeah, we want to copy from. I'm not sure what it means in the context of this. If we're copying from or to the card that is in our PDA, or vice versa. I think this is copying from the smartphone to the card in the PDA, so that's not going to help us. We need to have an additional card, and I don't think we have any blank ones on us right now. I definitely do want to make a backup, because yeah, it makes me nervous not having one. Hey, root beer, let's go have a drink because we are very thirsty at the moment. We have spent quite a few calories at the same time. Yet again, we're going to hold off eating these protein rations until we go to sleep. I think we'll just have the rest of the water for the moment. And well, we are tired. We are going to need to sleep before we decide which way we wish to go. And honestly, the Cataclysm cabin up here might not be a bad place to stay. So with that in mind, I think we are going to go and put this umbrella away, put that on our belt for the moment, and we're going to be heading back out into the night. We do actually have some water right here, so we'll go and collect that. Pouring that into our hydration pack, and then using our purification tablet to make that nice and clean. There we go. We are feeling better after that. Dusk. Okay, so onwards. Oh, and hello. We've met a skull zombie in the night. The Dusk is going to dodge and weave around. While she's at full stamina like this, it's not going to be able to do too much to cause her trouble. But where there's one, there's usually more. We're going to continue on towards those woods though, hopefully avoiding the dead before we get there. And yeah, sure enough, we've reached our destination. So at this point here, because we are walking into the unknown, we can't use the auto-travel features, but we can get the auto-travel to help us move through the woods if there are woods here. This seems more like plains than anything, but oh, here we go. There's a little bit more of it. We're going to have safe mode turned on. And I don't think there's any point in us having abilities up right now because we're less likely to encounter massive hordes out here in the woods. Okay, but we are, I was going to say we're awful close. We're here already. Okay, this is the cabin in question. So go around the outside. I guess we're going to have to probably jump the fence here. Yep, up and over into the unknown. And it looks like we've got some berries here that we're going to be able to harvest. Feral Earthshaper, there it is, and it can't actually see us yet. So what we're going to do is I want to try and see if we can pull them towards us. We have to use our forced shove to do that. Pull you on over, and Dusk, well, safe mode off, let's get attacking. And very, very quickly, the Feral Earthshaper has been taken down. Nothing that we want on you right now, but we are going to slam their corpse there. It is interesting that it's only Earthshapers that we've been encountering. The Baker's Companion, a book that we have already read. There's a canning pot in the microwave. Well, I guess it's a gas oven and microwave combo, so maybe it's not in the microwave, but that seems dangerous. We have some yogurt here, and we have some booze. We'll probably go and eat both of those. The mortar and pestle is tempting for us to have, but I think it's going to be a little heavy. 1.6 kgs doesn't seem like much, but it does kind of stack up. I feel like if we were doing more alchemy, that might be necessary. For the moment, Dusk, let's just go and eat some of that yogurt, we'll drink the ale, and we'll knock back the other one there, just so that we're feeling good. And let's continue. Yay! Okay, we have something. Cloak of Fog, which we already know, but we can go and sell this back to the forge, can't we? We also have Under the Hood here, yet another book that we could sell, but remembering, of course, they prefer their for fun books over everything else. A lot more locked doors here, though, so we can hope that there might be something else of interest. Diving socks? I mean, I imagine they would keep our feet from getting wet as much. They actually have some okay acid protection. The encumbrance on them is 5 though, so I feel like they'd have a little bit more encumbrance than just regular socks. Yeah, encumbrance 0, so diving socks, we will leave you for now. Lots of soap in the bathroom, and what have we here? A comprehensive history of botanical enchantment. Okay, well then, that's fun. I imagine there's probably some recipes in here. We will take it. It is a book that we have not actually read at all. We have no experience with it. Okay, so with that, I think we're probably going to stay in here tonight. So let's just go drop a few things off. There we go. That should give us a little bit of light. And then let's just go store both of these here. We hadn't stored Cloak of Fog. That's interesting. Well, I guess we just didn't see it as being necessary, but handful of potions, fruits. Interesting. Oh, perhaps we are actually still concentrating on powers because we're getting a strange tingling sensation. We'll probably stop that. But yeah, lots of potions. Good to know. Good to know that we have that. Yet more reading material for us. So, let's see. We will stop concentrating here. We had our pain thing up. We can no longer sense the flow of current. Okay, we had our spark side up that whole time. Right, so we are effectively ready to go to sleep right now. I do want to make sure that we've got a fair bit more calories in before we do sleep though, so we are going to knock back some of these protein rations. Okay, we're nearly completely full. Now, those spells that we learned today, we will learn them first thing in the morning, but before we sleep, we can look at casting some others a few times, just to try and get better at them. Honestly, getting Electric Eye and Electric Waves up is something that I definitely want to do, because they're both going to be fantastic for melee combat. So we'll just cast each of them a few times. Okay, and that was it. Just a few castings was all we were able to do, but we gained more experience in the process. Alright, so we'll get our gear back on, and then we'll turn in for the night. And good morning, and it is morning, unfortunately. We're more than likely going to spend the day here just doing a little bit of light study on those new spells. I did hear a zombie making an attacking noise outside, so there could be something nearby. We do need to be in a better mood in general if we're going to be doing any kind of learning, so we're going to turn on our MP3 player, play some music. We can probably try and reload that with a fresher battery. Yeah, there we go. Go for a full one. And let's go gather up some berries. It is still pretty early in the morning, so I don't think we are going to be getting too much sunshine on our skin. But yeah, lots of berries here for us to gather. Okay, we have eaten our fill of berries for the moment, so we're going to get back indoors here. We've got a nice spot on the bed by the window that we can probably just go prone. Then it's time to learn some of those abilities. So I guess this is where it gets a little tough, right? There's so much here, but we can see the things that are blue, we can still learn them. Blinding Flash is something that we still haven't learned, apparently. So we're going to begin with Paralytic Dart, difficulty 3, so we're going to be able to learn this and gain focus at the same time. Excellent. We have Paralytic Dart now. I don't know if that's something that we're just going to be able to cast just straight away, or if we actually need to target something. Allies and hostiles, 4 poison, lasts for 12 seconds. But yeah, it's a paralytic sting. It will slow creatures down. So I guess good thing with this is that if we can get it to a higher range, we'll be able to slow creatures before they're actually able to reach us. Or if something or someone was trying to run away, we would be able to stop them. It's a very, very low mana cost for us as well, which is great. I mean, we will try and cast it. Can you cast it on yourself? No. So that's a good thing. Alright, Lashing Tentacles will go for you next. Difficulty 6. So I think, yeah, we still have our focus climbing. There we go. Alright, so Lashing Tentacles, I'm imagining we can probably cast right away. Yeah, last for 1 minute and 10 seconds. They will strike anyone in melee with you, so I think you cannot wear rigid armor that covers your shoulders with them. Okay. Your shoulders itch before 2 barbed tentacles erupt from them. Cool. We don't actually have anything rigid on our shoulders, I think, because we have our Kevlar vest and then we have the blouse, so that's cool. We know how to do that now. It doesn't show up on the side here. And here's the thing. We have had beast mutation on for ages, so I think there might be a bit of a bug there, but we're going to run with it. Yeah, we're going to run with it. We are going to probably have a look at taking the mana mutagen, but there is a chance that may push us over the beast threshold. And if that happens, well, then that happens. Okay, so it actually shows up as a mutation. That's fun. That is very, very fun. Okay, so we still have more spells to learn, but we are going to use something before then. Concentrated Mana Mutagenic Primer. So, we're going to have a bit of a slurry going on here, but Dusk, let's go and apply that. And I feel like we applied the first one there. You drink the Concentrated Mana Mutagenic Primer, so we don't see that here under effects, at least not yet. Okay, let's just wait a minute. Tentacles retract back into your body. Well, isn't that fun? So we can't even see if we're changing. Oh, mana mutation. Okay, good. But we don't see changing happening yet. So we probably need to consume more mutagen for that to take effect. And we do have more mutagen. We just don't have it with us, right? Crap. That is back at the refugee center. Okay, so we could take more of this, but I don't think that that's going to help us right this second. So yeah, tonight we really need to make sure we make it back there. But for the moment, we continue our study. And we're now on to Convert. Kill an allied creature. Yeah, so that's a difficult one, a compact rune that you can use afterwards. So I suppose if we were able to maybe tame a creature, that could work. Oh, I do also love for Abjure the Spirits of Rot. For us to preserve our food, we have to use sulfur and wild herbs. That's fun. And yeah, Convert targets ally. Has to be an ally. And I guess that's the reason why, is because it just kills them. Straight up kills them. Yeah. Okay. I feel like that is something that could be used in our resurrection of Elliot. Certainly seems like part of it. And then we have Blinding Flash. We neglected to learn this sooner. Oh, I guess we had it, but we didn't learn it because it's probably an animist ability, right? Okay, yeah, here it is. Valid targets hostile. So I figured it was going to be like from us, but yet again, it has to actually target a target, but it does light damage. Oh, and okay, this is very cool. Okay, I'll just go to it here first of all. So yeah, Blinding Flash, 1 light damage. High levels deal slightly higher damage, but it will blind enemies. So wonder if that works on turrets. That could be very cool. But yeah, so we have a favorites menu here, but then we also are able to sort through categories. So we've got Animist, Awakened, Electrokinetic, and then Awakened Telekinetic. We have all of our Biomancer spells, all of our classless spells, Stormshaper spells, Technomancer spells. Yeah, so neat. I like that. But that's us done with that part of the learning. So now we can just study further. Oh, no, that's a lie. There are more spells that we can learn in here. Shocking Lash being one of those. A quick burst of electricity strikes a target and possibly one other nearby. There we go, Shocking Lash. Range 3, targets are hostile, so I assumed it would probably like pull them in towards us, but it's just like a lash, an electric whip of a kind. I think that we will probably reduce our total number of spells and end up going with our favorites, because we have lots of offensive options. And yes, some are going to be good for different situations, but I feel like we'll probably have our go-to spells. Like honestly, Lightning Bolt still really up there for me. Okay, so now we have a beginner's guide to magic. We still have Sound Bomb and Magical Light there. Right, so I chose not to learn them because I didn't think that we were actually going to have much of a use for them. I don't know if us learning more spells in general increases our maximum mana or if it's more tied to our spellcasting. I think it's spellcasting in general, so we can probably do without learning. No, so it was this one that we decided not to learn. We do actually have these 2 spells. So yeah, if we really do want Magical Light, we can make Magical Light, just like so. And Sound Bomb works totally fine. Now, if there was anything in the area, it probably would have heard that Sound Bomb. Oh, listen to that. We have some pagan indie thrash going on at the moment. Nice. So we've already eaten all of our berries. Now, I was wanting to stay here till the night, but I also want to make use of the mutagen, the primer that's in our system at the moment, so we could always just get our umbrella out, change to Force Unarmed, and try and make our way back home. We can see a dino of a kind out here somewhere, or we could for a moment. Where are you now? Oh, down there, and you're chill, right? You are. And we can see where we walked, and we can actually see the area around us quite well. I'm kind of intrigued as to what's going on over there right now, but Forge Wonders is the goal, and hey, look at that, we were very close to a goblin outpost, so, we could poke our head in there, but I think we'll only do that if they cause us trouble, otherwise, the Forge is where it's at. Well, we made it back to the Forge, first of all, without any trouble. That's not our actual destination. We want to be going to the refugee center, but we can sell off a few things here before we continue on. Namely, the books that we just picked up, but you know what? I feel like they're probably going to go better to the librarian. Oh, I also just realized we do have a few extra Parabolan breeches as well. We'll probably sell those off. Okay, so it looks like we're probably going to have a little bit of credit here. I am okay with that though, as they are going to restock eventually. Oh, and our social skill increased. Look at that, Dusk. Getting better at this. Oh, and you know what? Yeah, that will actually make our barter better in general, so maybe that is something that we want to try and focus on. Yeah, talking to Valzane is going to be 5 days and 5 hours before they get new stuff in, so we're definitely going to be able to have a few adventures in that time. Now, we do have to go through a Triffid Wood to be able to get back to the refugee center, but hey, we need to do it. There is a possibility that moving through the town will actually be safer, but I feel like as long as we go far enough south, we should be okay. We just need to watch out for the damn portal that's down here. Oh, interesting. There's a large glowing boulder out here. Something about it doesn't look right. Okay, interesting. I think that's what might be in the magic fields, and it could very well be an ore that we need. But for the moment, we don't need it. Oh, okay, we've got a decayed pouncer coming at us in the woods here. It did manage to get a little bit of a slash on us there, but Dusk, as ever, is usually going to come out on top in those situations. Oh, and now a woodland white. Yet again, we're always going to come out on top there. Unless, of course, there's a large amount of them, which, hey, we've been pretty lucky so far. And boy howdy, we have made it back, and everyone is still doing okay here. That's very good to see. And Dusk, oh boy, it's time to have some of the goods. Okay, interesting. Oh, it is here. Okay, good. I was confused for a second then. So yeah, let's go and knock that back and check in and see how we're doing. Mutagenic slurry. Your stomach is burning. Hopefully that was a good idea. Okay, so we will give it a little bit longer with that and see if we start to see the changing effects. We still have many things here that we have left behind, but I think bringing the mutagen with us is something that we're going to want to do. We do have another glass of mutagen, and then of course we have all the other types. We'll take those plastic bottles as well. The catalyst we will pick up. And then I suppose I can see what we can leave behind. Honestly, I think we can probably get away with leaving the entrenching tool behind, but then again, I know the second that we do that, we're going to want to try and dig a corpse out of a pile of rubble, so you stay for now. Alright, so now that we're back here, we do have options as to what our next goal should be. We can download encryption codes from the lab that is up here in Putney. We can also head out towards the Dragon Lair. I'm thinking maybe going for these first is going to be the better option for us. We know that we can move through the town using the sewer system relatively well, so I think that's probably what we're going to try and do here. So we will close up our little supply stack there, and we'll head back on out into the world, doing what we can for these people. And it doesn't take long before they did start to stumble out of their homes towards us, but Dusk, she is going to try and make it quickly towards that manhole cover, and hello. We'll be sure to give them a fair bit of space. But of course, gargoyles always need to go down wherever we see them, because they're going to track us no matter what. We have a feral cop there that's going to chase us down, straight ahead to the manhole, Dusk. Yet another gargoyle. Let's see if we can quickly take that out as the dead start to congregate around us. Let's watch out for the boomer. Let's keep moving. That's what we're after. We're just going to run as fast as we can until we reach there. Down we go. And we'll continue on into the darkness and beyond. And I was just hearing like really heavy gunfire like right over the top of us, so I think that that's probably those bandits that we could sense earlier. Unfortunately, we'd been dodging gas this entire time, but we got unlucky and ran into a whole lot of it just as one of the sewer slimes exploded. And there are flesh raptors in amongst all of that. Yeah. We've been taking the mask on and off. We're just going to wait until that poison has passed. And it seems like the real poison is going to be sticking with us. And we're past it. And I think we are getting quite close to our actual destination here. Oh, yeah, that's a zombie predator. Don't really want to be fighting that while we are feeling so much poison. The moderate pain's a bit of a problem as well. Going back to our regular channeling at the moment, and our percentage chance to get some of these abilities off is still pretty high. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to move to the side, and then we're going to try and see if we can throw this thing back against the wall. And we do pretty good damage to it at the same time. We'll see if we can get a mind hammer off. You see our focus is actually up at a relatively good amount at the moment, but yeah, I mean, it could be better. We failed that, but we succeeded the second time as it starts to get towards us again. We're going to get ready to strike at it a few times, dodging to the side. That is a zombie predator taken care of. And now we are seeing more enemies ahead of us, so we are going to have to prepare for that. I want to make sure that, well, we're not dealing with things like sewer rats. I want to make sure that the poison has passed fully. Oh, and there's a shadow raptor here now as well. Well, that's just great, isn't it? Okay. Yep, we're definitely going to be attacking that. And it's gone yet again. Okay, well, let's try and get up some of our abilities if we can. And because we don't need to do this fast, we're going to change back on over to our extended channeling. It's time for electrical discharge, voltaic strikes, and we've got a flesh raptor to deal with. There we go. Let's just wait. I was going to say catch our breath back before we try and start any other fights. There we go, Dusk. That's better. We are still listening to music at the same time, so what I want to try and see here is if we can lower, or rather stop focusing on some of our combat abilities. So unarmed combat, it shouldn't be getting any higher. We're going to put learning disabled on that for now. I'm tempted to do the same thing for dodge, just because I'm worried we're spending too much time in combat trying to train those things up, and that's what's really stealing away all of our focus. Obviously, pain is going to be another factor as well. So let's go take that last codeine there. We'll also take some aspirins, and we should be ready to go. First up, we have a flesh raptor to fight through. And this little bastard's going to be tricky because it's going to be running away a lot. Okay, zombie hunter, you're the first that we face. Oh, okay, good strikes, good strikes. Now, we don't have any of our magical abilities up yet. I probably want to have our armor going before we get up there. So let's look at casting that. We do have a zombie making its way on over towards us. So we are wanting to cast Mage Armor. Oh, and we need hands-free for that one. There we go. We have Mage Armor active, and it's giving us a decent amount of light right now. I want to get the umbrella back out. We still have Force Unarmed up and ready. Good work, Dusk. So, moving towards the ladder, no doubt we are going to have a large amount of dead to deal with once we're up there. Unfortunately, the sewer system doesn't connect up directly with the lab, but we are very close. We're right next to that restaurant. Okay, here we go. And we immediately have some friends here, a hunter-killer and a zombie prowler. I probably should have got wind running up before we came to the surface here, but, you know, here we are. We're just going to start regular running, and I'm going to be doing these little bursts of sprinting, and that should get us there before the bulk of this group arrives. And down the stairs we go. They've got no idea where we are, at least, you know, that's the hope. Okay, so, right, what's our mission here? Download encryption codes. Now, the problem with that is we will probably need a USB of some kind to do that. We don't have a USB drive on us, so we might need to try and find one in another way. But just to test that out, we are going to try and find one of the various machines that's here to see if we can, we'll see exactly what it requires. Yay, the poison's gone, but a Barghest is here, and thankfully we were more than ready for that. We're feeling woozy right now. Probably need to use a towel. We are changing. Okay, so the mutagen has taken effect. We are still under the effects of both the beast and the mana mutagen, but wooziness, yeah, I guess it's probably a number of effects that are hitting us. We'll towel off, and let's try and find one of those terminals. Oh, and a skeletal dog to boot. Now, I don't know if one of these general ones is going to work for us, but we will see. Actually, I think this might be the one that we used before. Login successful, download memory contents. USB drive required. But then again, we have a specific tile that is marked here, and it's actually up. Encryption codes. I guess this is just marking a lab in general. Now, there were bots in here, right? Yup, and there still are, so let's go close that. I don't think there's a chance that there's anything that we need to grab from up here, because I mean, that's just the ID swipe card. Nearby doors have already opened, yeah, okay. I am wondering if it might be more for something like this. Let's head down towards that terminal and see what we got. Okay. Yet another workstation, we'll bypass the security, download memory content, so yeah, we might just need a USB, or alternatively, we have the algorithmic data analyzer here, run decryption algorithm. Yeah, we need to have a memory bank of some kind in the area there. Access Melchior? No, let's maybe not do that right now. We need to have a USB drive of some kind. Okay, so there is a small chance that we might find something like that down here. Have we digitized this book? Because that can get our electronics up. I think we might have. Well, very quick way for us to figure that out. No books to scan. Okay, good. So, there are many dead that are on the surface. We are pretty well equipped right now. If we fight enough of them, there's a strong chance that we'll find some USB on them, and I think we may be able to try and format those. So, we need to get the spark back in our hands, voltaic strikes, and let's just go and re-up the electrical discharge. Then, I guess we could have a little bit of fun, couldn't we? Electric eye and electric waves. Let's go cast eye. Oh, well, okay. Put the umbrella away first. There we go, electric eye and electric waves, please. That gives us 7 minutes. Okay. Now, we're just going to be using Tai Chi. I would have loved to have been able to get Stormfist up as well, but I feel like that would probably be asking for a little bit too much. Even so, we should be a deadly, deadly killer. But we still need to remain cautious. So what I'm going to try and do is reduce the number that can be fighting us at one time. So yeah, we'll be striking them back like so. And honestly, all of that mess that's by the door there, that will actually help us because it will slow down anything that's coming through here. I'm okay with that. As long as we don't have things attacking us from a distance, then that's good. Dusk, you're doing a great job. The dodging back maybe isn't the greatest thing that could happen, but yet again, it did help us because we managed to avoid all of that spitter's spit. And yeah, the amount of electricity that is just tearing through them is also fantastic. Let's move to the side yet again. Okay, so do we have any USBs on this group alone. Well, there's an unread memory card, so we'll grab that certainly. And I wonder if we could use a smartphone for that purpose as well, like maybe, but it seems like a USB is what's required over everything else. I mean, smartphone is showing up under USB. We'll hold on to one for now. Is anyone else gonna come and say hello? We've got a grabber that could see us briefly then. Hello, zombies. I want to fight. I want a good fight. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's take care of you first. Go over towards the grabber here. Wow, that was a big explosion. Hot damn. So, I'm guessing that's the electric waves, like building up over time. Very cool. We've got a laptop computer as well. I feel like that could potentially be useful. The hand cranker we'll deal with now for now. We are going to go and chew on that chewing gum that's on the ground though. Nice, thank you very much. And yeah, not what we're looking for. But we will continue looking, and we're going to continue clearing out the town here. Just absolutely fantastic. Thank you. I love it when a plan comes together. I really thought that I was going to have to be at that for ages. We will probably have to fight our way back in here, or maybe not. Okay, well, that worked out surprisingly well, and we are strong. We are very strong when we have all those things going for us, and that's not even all of the things. We have even more that we can go with. Our dodging with all of those things up puts us at 10.9 dodge, which is great. I mean, we could also get those lashing tentacles going. We could have had Storm Fist active. Yeah, there are lots of things that we could apply, and gets me excited for us having maybe a little bit more mana. We could also just have potions as well if we really want to soup ourselves up. So, workstation, download memory contents, let's try and hack, USB drive, software downloaded. Is that what we needed though? Or is it just more of the same? We still have a mark here, download encryption codes. So, did I just waste that USB drive? Lab data. I think we did. So that's not what we want. Unless, of course, we put that lab data in here, like so, and see if that works. Run decryption? Okay. Memory bank unencrypted. Nothing of interest. So it managed to unencrypt it. Upload data? I mean, I'll try. Unable to reach network. Okay. Access Melchior? We can... Yep. Kind of thought something like that might happen. Manhacks aplenty. We are going to strike at every manhack that's in here, and we can see our sparks just absolutely annihilated the others that are there. Do we try that again? It's a danger for us to attempt that. I mean, look at our dexterity and our perception right now. Our intelligence is fantastic. I think we can do this, Dusk. Well, can we? Or are we just going to keep on summoning manhacks? Because that's... that seems to be like one of the outcomes. There could also be a terminal in here that we need to interact with outside of this, but I mean, we can keep trying because, I mean, we're not so much going to be training because we've turned everything else off combat-wise at the moment, but these double palm strikes that we're doing against the manhacks are just kind of fun in general. And plus, you know, we've got our mage armor on at the moment. We're as good as we're going to get. Oh, okay, error, accessing data malfunction, databank destroyed. Okay, so we succeeded then. And we got shocked that next time. Okay, and it completely destroyed the USB that was in there. Okay, well then. I'm thinking that there must be another terminal here that we need to access. Okay, so I have seen a potential error that can come from this quest, specifically if it sends you back to the same lab that the original quest was at, because effectively the terminals kind of overwrite each other in terms of the data that they would have on them. So what we're probably going to do in this instance is use that USB that we just downloaded the data from to get the correct data, the encryption codes. I am also noticing we are seeing creatures in the distance here. So this is like our spark sight, but it's going even further, and I think that's coming from Electric Eye, which, that's fun. That gives us a really, really decent sight. That's neat, Dusk. So we now have a USB in our inventory that has the correct codes on it. Well, theoretically. But we still have a distance to go, don't we? And I am relatively confident that we are going to be able to make that back today. So back to the surface we go, and we're going to be trying to get right back to here as quickly as we can. It does say that we still have our mission here at the moment, but we have the codes, so we should be good. At least, I'm gonna hope so. Hang on, is that the same? Yeah, this is the same manhole. Okay. I expected it to be far busier around there than it was, but okay, we've just got the swarming amalgamation. That's fine, we can manage with that. It's not going to be able to keep up with us, and we know that the way is pretty much safe all the way back, so we're going to continue on into the darkness and get back to that refugee center. And that really didn't take anywhere near as long as I thought it was going to make it back to this point. But yet again, we're going to have to get that umbrella out and face the surface. And yeah, it's a fair bit busier here. Yet again, wind running. Well, actually, you know what? It's pretty fast to cast. Let's go cast that now if we can. And we're casting it on yourself there, Dusk. Okay, time to leg it on out of here. We're just going to use these buildings, break line of sight, and then to the south we go. All right, so let's see if this has actually worked out for us. Doctor, okay, there is a problem still, it seems. Well, okay, unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be working right now, but perhaps I will be able to find a way around that. I'm certainly going to try. But for the moment, Legionnaires, that is going to wrap us up for today's episode. Dusk yet again managed to pick up even more knowledge. A number of spells that she's going to have to study hard to learn. But her combat, her way of fighting is becoming more and more refined. And we're finding more things that can enhance that. Is it enough to face a creature as dangerous as a dragon? Well, maybe. The warm days of summer will not be with Dusk forever, and she has yet another big journey ahead of her. The Exodi are far to the northeast, and there are still missions that are closer to home right now. Most of them are back over to the west though, so I feel like it makes more sense for Dusk to push on, find the Exodi, learn what they know. As when she does make that journey back to the west, it will be to bring her brother back in whatever way she can. A number of methods seem to be presenting themselves now, one of which for Dusk does require an ally. But that's a thought for another time. For the moment, I'd like to thank you all for joining me for yet another episode here in the Cataclysm. And I ask you all, if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. As for now, I have been Rycon, you have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.